Y'all remember when I did Kill All Immortals, like the first time it came out, right? And at the end of it, I said that if we didn't get a part 2, I was going to like either actively riot or cry or something similar to that. I was going to be very upset if we did not get like a second part, because how dare you leave off on a fucking cliffhanger? Well, baby, let me tell you, we are in Kill All Immortals part fucking 2. Yes. I am so excited for this fucking story. Y'all just don't understand. So, if you did not see any of the Kill All Immortals content from before, I will have like, there's like a little playlist that I'm going to make for it so that you guys can kind of just like go through it and see what the fuck was going on. Essentially, it's Erik the Red and his children. So there's Leif, the other one, Thorin, and Freya. My brain is just all over the place today. Anyway, so it's his 3 kids and him, and they are all immortal. They've been alive for like thousands of years, and they're all Vikings, right? Okay. Freya was sick of that shit, and she was dating this guy who was like, oh my god, I'm super interested in your family, when actually, in all reality, he was trying to expose them for being immortal and all this other nonsense. So when she actually finally figured out what he was doing, despite her father telling her what he was doing, she got his ass in the head, right? Right. Okay. After all of that's said and done, she goes up against her father and up against her brothers. Her brothers finally listen to what it is that she's saying. They team up, go against their dad, and they cut down Idun, is the one who gives them their immortal powers. So once they cut her down, they are no longer immortal. However, at the end of that, we see that there is another one who I'm pretty sure is Genghis Khan. I'm pretty sure, yeah. It's Genghis Khan, and they also have a tree. So he is basically trying to tell them, like, y'all don't know what you're doing. There's like, we're gonna be fucked. And they weren't listening. Well, now here we are at the consequences of not listening. So Leif is running the business like he had been, but the business is in the middle of a like hostile takeover, and he's trying to get it to stop, but he can't do that without his father. However, his father disappeared after the event of the first like half of that. So at the end of the last book, he has been gone for like months. They have not seen him, but his son's been trying to run the company unsuccessfully. So down in Oslo, Norway, they are like trying to tell him that they're going to basically lose the business tomorrow. And then there's like a red alert. Well, there's not a red alert that happens exactly then, but one of his men comes up and says that they have an issue, and he's like, call security. He was like, okay, that's the problem. Security's not answering. As soon as he says that, there's like a red alert happens, all of the lights go out, the emergency lights come on, and he tells everybody to get the fuck out. And they're like, okay, what about you? He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I am going to stay here and greet our guests. Well, of course, these two twins come in, throwing hands, knives, killing people. It doesn't matter what is going on. And he puts bullets in them, but because they are immortal, it does not affect them. Their father, Genghis Khan, is like, sup? You know, you were immortal once, and now you're not. So I'm gonna kill you now. And he, you know, he does try. He's like, oh, by the way, I saw that you met my kids, like these two right here. He's like, it's, you know, somebody said that I had like 1,000 kids, which could and could not be true, right? So, but the best thing about having so many of them little rugrats is that they're replaceable, expendable. I like these two though, so you know, that's why they're here. That's basically what I said. However, before he even has the opportunity to kill Leif jumps out of the window of the building. Mind you, they are at like the top fucking floor. And one of the kids is like, oh, he's not gonna survive that fall. He's mortal. And he's like, okay, so bring me him, dead or alive. Okay, so we go to Paris where Freya is, and she is establishing a foundation to fight against rich people. Do it again. Now, mind you, she has never denied the fact that her family is rich. Ever. She has done several things, like she has made sure to distance herself from the family business since the beginning of the book. Or since the beginning of this entire story. She has done everything that she possibly can to distance herself from her father's fucking business. And she has made a name for herself. So when she started the foundation, she ends up getting this donor who's like, he'll give her $2 million. And the only thing that he wants to do is meet her. And she's like, really? And y'all believe that? All right. So they go back there. His last name is Khan, and he's just like super flirtatious, and he's like, I'm about to go back to Hong Kong. I want you to come with me. And he kind of knows who she is and the fact that she was immortal once. And he slowly starts to reveal himself, and she's like, and he's essentially trying to buy her, and she sees through that immediately. And she's just like, why are you playing in my face right now? Because actually, the only thing that you're doing is piss me off. So when she figures out who it is, my girl stabs him with a pair of metal chopsticks. Now, she does, like, there is, like, fighting and everything that happens, but after she stabbed him with the metal chopsticks, he was like, I'm kind of offended, actually. So she runs out, and her brother picks her up, but both brothers are in the car. They are looking for Thorin, and he is at a Buddhist retreat. So Thor is chilling elsewhere, right? And they're just like, oh, he's fucking cooked, because he gave up violence altogether, which he was kind of teetering that way in the other books, because he's not necessarily one for the violence, only if it's necessary. It wasn't his thing. So him giving up the violence in period in general is very on brand. And she's like, okay, but he's still family. We still need to go get him. The fuck? So they go there, and he is being held hostage. Some of the monks there are dead. He's being held hostage, and they come in, all three of them weaponed up with their, the weapons of choice. And they're just like, he's like, oh, I can't wait to kill y'all. This one right here won't even fucking fight back. Of course not. I gave up violence. Weren't you listening? So they get into a fight with him, and he's talking about being disappointed and stuff like that, but you've barely gotten a scratch off on them for you to be talking all that shit. You hit them one time. Calm down. Pipe down, right? So while he's sitting there doing this, he gets set on fire with a flamethrower. And they see their father, and he's like, I told you this was going to fucking happen. You weren't listening to me. They're all fucking immortal. We weren't the only ones. There's Idun, and then there was Trist, I think is what the other tree is called. He's like, we got Idun, they got that one. These are Genghis Khan's kids. We got to get this shit fucking handled. And they're like, okay, so Frey's like, so if they're immortal and we're not, how are we supposed to defeat them? He's like, I know secrets. I know stuff. And we're going to do this as one big old happy fucking family. And when he set him on fire, he was like, oh, he's not going to die. He's just going to, take a while to heal. That man looks like he'd been, completely flambéed. Those girls who died in Final Destination 3 when they were in the tanning bed, that's what the fuck he looked like on the floor. Anyway, loved. I am so ready for this story to be back. I'm so excited. The artwork is still fucking amazing. The story continuing from where we were without having to trade off anywhere. I'm loving it, and I cannot wait for more of this. Y'all just do not understand. Y'all don't. I think the thing that I enjoy most about it is that it doesn't have to tie into anything for it to be a really, really good story. And it picking up immediately where it left off without having to do any kind of flashbacks or anything like that. Like, even when it started in the beginning, the only thing it showed was the destroyed tree, the fact that they had like basically destroyed the house when they were there fighting, and the fact that none of them are even fucking there anymore. And it simply picks up exactly where we were just a few months later, and the fact that their father disappeared for months. He disappeared for months because not only did his kids beat his ass, but he just lost his immortality as well. I would be mad. Of course I wouldn't be here. Of course you wouldn't hear from me. Y'all beat my ass and then took my immortality too? What do you mean? But he never lost track of his kids. He never lost track of his kids. Now, was he leaving his son out there to drown? Yes. But he never lost track of him. You know what I'm saying? So he knew where his kids were. I am just so excited for this story. The characters in this story are absolutely fucking amazing. Hilarious. The very much sibling energy. And I love it. I love it. Like when the older sibling has to be the family manager and all kinds of other shit. Like, it's got those dynamics. So yes, I'm ready for more. I'm so excited. And that is it for this episode of The Doctor's Office. If you have not gotten Salt Blood or Midnight Whispers, please do. Both of them are available on Amazon. And I will also link the Shadow Library where you can go look at the characters from Salt Blood. I almost said Midnight Whispers. There are no characters in there. From Salt Blood. As well as checking us out on Ghastly Gospels, because we're literally fucking everywhere. Australia, Zambia, fucking Hong Kong. Hello. International superstars. All things horror, period. So, but again, that is it for this episode of The Doctor's Office, and I will see you guys at your next checkup.